Some people are like Muzungu, and I'm like, I'm not a Muzungu, I'm an Arab. And the reason why I react like this is because in my whole life I have been seen as like dark in Denmark. I've never got the privilege of my white friends. So I'm like, now I'm around my people. And you're calling me Muzungu? Hell no. We're in the same boat. I am brown. So yeah. So as an Arab, I feel more African than I feel Muzungu.
Boy, let's talk to them. Let's talk chicka. Let's talk to them. Let's talk to let's talk to them. Let's talk chicka. Let's talk to them. Yeah, I'm from a beautiful place, the Pearl of Africa. Hailing with a 256, it's in my blood. That's a gem where the mountains rise, with stories untold. The tapestry of cultures unfolding, so vibrant and bold. A symphony of stars, a celestial light. The drums beating, echoing through the night, just like a beacon of light. A reflection that's coming up from the Nile. I'm flowing straight into the heart of Africa with timeless stories untold. What's up, dog?
Elevate your podcast game today. Are you looking for a perfect place to record your podcast in Kampala? Look no further. Downsoft Studios, located at Ivory Plaza on Wilson Street, Level 3, Room 4, is a perfect place for you. Downsoft Studios has professional recording equipment, comfortable and creative environment, expert for all your podcast needs. Book your session today. Find them on all social media platforms or reach out to them directly to secure your spot. Let them make your podcast dream a reality. Downsoft Studios, where stories come to life.
3, 2, 1, 2J.
Welcome back to the Ugandan Boy Talk Show. I'm your host, Bonnie Chibuka, and today's guest is someone whose story bridges continents, culture, consciousness. She's a life coach, an educator, and transformation mentor who traded classroom for a life of helping others build confidence, independence, inner peace. Uganda became her mirror, a place where she discovered what it truly means to live by your values, embrace emotions, and find harmony between structure and surrender. I'm honored to have with me Adraa Ayoub. Welcome to my podcast, Adraa.
Bye-bye.
I like that. Sometimes my introduction sounds so intimidating when somebody listens to them. I was like, oh my God, who is that person you're talking about? Like, I'm trying to I don't know. I mean, that place in between where I don't want to scare people away. Like when you read somebody's introduction, it's like, have I done all that? But sometimes it's good. Like somebody thinks of that. I was like, I've done all that. Yeah. So it's an in-between thing where I like professionalism, but then on my podcast, I like it to be a free spirit. Like I want people to be free with everything we do. But assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. Muganda wange.
You're going to have me dying this episode. How are you doing?
I'm fine, but I'm going to speak Lusogo if I speak like the simple words I know because I'm from Jinja.
I like that. You're doing good. So I'm going to tell my listeners, Adraa left Jinja at 9:30 a.m. and our recording was supposed to be at 5. So she got to Kampala early just for the podcast. How cool is that? Man, that made me so happy and treasure these conversations. Like small things like those mean so much to me.
It's because I know here in Uganda, either the road can take 2 hours or a rainy day like today, it can take 6.5 hours. So I took my precaution.
You need to teach my fellow Ugandans on to read that, because some of them don't think about that. They just go with the flow and just do that. But it is crazy, the power of internet. How did we meet? Like, do you remember the first time we got to talk? How did we get connected?
I followed a Ugandan model called Winnie, and I saw you had a podcast with her, and I saw your podcast. I'm like, wow, this is so interesting. And I really love Uganda. I love everything Ugandan. And you introduced me to a lot of big Ugandan names. So I was like, this is so cool. But I'm not a big name, but I was like, if I can add on and spread some Ugandan love, then I'll try to do that.
One of the things I never focused on much. Yes, I get lucky to have the big names, but I feel like there's a lot of people out there who are doing amazing work. I was going through your content. It's really, really amazing. Like the work you do, the service you do, the love you have for people. I'm like, I want the world to hear this. I want the world to hear what you do and what just your story, your journey. It's really amazing, and I'm excited to have this conversation with you today. I really don't think much about big names and all that. It's a podcast. Once we have a good conversation, somebody's gonna benefit from it, and God will use that to impact somebody's life. You're originally from Denmark, is that right?
Yeah, so I'm raised and born in Denmark, but my parents are from Iraq. So I have Arab
Okay.
roots. That's why I'm brown skinned. I'm not a Muzungu, and I'm going to talk about that later.
I'm not a Muzungu. I love that. I love that. I'm ready for this conversation. Some of the things that I've seen you do in Kampala that amuse me. I grew up in Uganda until like I was 20 or some. Then I came here. But now when I go back to Uganda, I find it hard to even drive in Kampala or drive in Uganda. I've seen you drive there. How is that like? How is it going for you?
So to be honest, I drive until my friends are like, it's not safe for you anymore. So, and I will never drive in Kampala. It's like here, there's borders everywhere. One thing is that in Denmark, we drive on the right side, where you in Uganda drive on the left. Another thing is that when you drive, there's butterbots, there's goats. there are every single,
Cows.
there are people walking, and there's so many factors you need to focus on. Well, I'm used to in Denmark, you have a road, and you should only focus if someone wants to like pass you, or yeah, that's actually one of the things you have to focus on.
It's the same thing in the US too. Like there are these specific rules that everybody's supposed to follow. Not everybody follows them, but in Uganda, those rules don't work. Whoever comes first goes first. Whoever has a big car goes first. That's what it is. Like if you can squeeze in, you squeeze in.
And actually, that's what's more safe. I feel when my friends drive on the road, they dance with the other cars, and that's how it fit. When I come with my structure and my rules, we're almost very, very close to an accident, because rule like it doesn't fit here. I'm used to, I have to look back, and if I do that, a butter comes and they're like, Adraa, what are you doing? So yeah. So I'm learning to just chill and dance with the others with the cars as well.
You're from Ginger, and you've spoken already some Lusoga words. So I was preparing to greet you. Okobachi.
Ndibul kalamo muganda wange ariwe, and you.
Wazira. Wazira is nothing, right? I don't know.
Oh, maybe. I'm not a professional yet.
The other thing was milking a cow. Did you ever do this in Denmark, like milking a cow? And
No.
how was that experience like in Uganda?
It's in Denmark, actually, they have the cows live in a room where they put machines on them, and then the machine do the milking. Like they will not sell milk, as I know. I don't think the rules accept that people milk the cows.
Yeah.
So it's only if you have one at home. So here I live with a cow, and it's a big experience. Like for me, the first time I was here, I woke up in the morning, prayed, and after the prayer, my Muganda Wange, Brian, would milk the cow, and then I will support him and milk it with him. And I feel it was so calming. It was early in the morning, I could hear the birds, and it was so healing in itself.
I love to see your pictures in Uganda. Like when somebody who is not from Uganda is in Uganda and they're having a blast, it makes me so happy. I'm like, I want to feel what you feel, like being in a foreign country and just happy, excited, happy to live that life. And I don't know, I never, when I came to the US, it's not the same thing. Yes, it's happy here, but like sometimes I miss the life in Uganda. It's slow paced, like things. There's some problems with it, but like Uganda is like really, it's a good life when you live there. So I like to see people enjoying and living the dream. Anyway, I didn't tell you in the beginning, but this segment we're doing is called Just Talk and Talk. These are some of the things that just stood out to me when I was preparing for this conversation, that I was like, I need to know where her minds were or what she thinks about this. And before we go into the other segments that I prepared for you. The other one was you showed a video and you were wearing a Real Madrid jersey. Do you support soccer, football? Do you follow football at all?
Yeah, like I know I'm not following so much. I play football, but I have always been Real Madrid fan. And in the summer vacation, I worked at EA Sport in Madrid.
Wow.
So of course I should have a shirt there.
That's what I was gonna ask you the other question because I put it down here. Do you play soccer? There's a tiny clip I saw. You were playing with the kids, I think, at a school in Ginger, and I saw just 2 seconds of your footwork, and I was like, she definitely played soccer. She definitely played football somewhere.
So I had a break from football for many years. And then when I came to Uganda my first time, I played with the kids and I was like, wow, I've missed it. So I went back to Denmark and joined a club. So that's one of the things that, one of the 100 things Uganda like opened my eyes to. Like what are my passions? What do I like to do?
I love football. I grew up playing football, even in the US. I still follow it today. Hopefully I get to watch Arsenal. I'm a big Arsenal fan. Like people know, I'm a big Arsenal fan. So the last one was you did a video and you mentioned a line that you said you bought a farm at 25. That stood out to me. You were helping. The video was, I can help you. I can't buy you a house, but I can help you. You get one. And in those lines, you mentioned you bought a farm at 25. Why did you decide to buy a farm and at that age?
I think I've always had this. I love slow living. I love having my freedom. And I was like, I want to have time with my kids. I was also a young mom. I became a mom at an age of 23. I don't know if that's young in Uganda, but in Denmark it's young. And people work all the time because every time when you bought an apartment, you want to renovate it. When you have renovated, you want a house, and people always use more money and work more and more. So I was like, okay, farm, we can like try this slow living. I opened my own business. I made glamping, which is glamorous camping. So so I rented luxurious tents with jacuzzi, with swimming pool, to let people from the city come and experience this slow living. And actually, I'm going to do this project in Uganda. So I'm going to take all my things with me and we'll do it at the Nile instead of Denmark.
That's beautiful. I'll make sure I'll come show up.
So I wanted to show with that video that everything's possible. Often it's our limiting beliefs that make us think, oh, but I'm still young. I can't afford buying a house or an apartment. But I wanted to show, yes, if you just put it as something you want to reach, you aim for it, you manifest it, and it will, of course, happen.
I like that because sometimes we do things on social media and we don't know the impact it's going to create in somebody else's. Like for me, when I had that line, just that line, I bought a farm at 25, it sparked in my head. I'm not 25, I'm way older than that. But like I was putting my 25-year-old in that position that if somebody had that, it will inspire them to do the same thing. So, oh, she was able to do it. I can do it. Even a 25-year-old can do this thing, can do that thing. Because like you just said, sometimes we think we're too young to do some things. But it's not really, we're not too young. And that's a mentality that we put in ourselves. No, I'm too young to do that. I'll wait No, when you have the chance, you can do it right there and right there and then.
I like that you say the exact sentence that, oh, if she can do it, I can do it. Because that is also a mindset shift. I work a lot with my clients. Many people, unfortunately, they are like, why did she get that? Or why did God give him this? So the envy begins to start. Instead of being happy and thinking, okay, as you said, if he can do it, I can do it. That is a mindset shift we need to work on for us to improve. Because the other thought will actually make it harder for us to reach success.
I'm already excited that we're going to have a good conversation. The vibe is real and everything's going well. So I hope the listeners are also enjoying. Adraa, I have different segments in this podcast that we go through. And this next segment is called This or That. This or That is supposed to be an icebreaker, but I feel like the ice has already been broken like from the first two words we had.
We're in Kampala, it's too hot.
That is funny. I ask you two things. You're going to pick one. Feel free to explain why you picked that and drop the other. Or feel free to say, Barney, I don't have an answer for that. Let's just go. I don't have a explanation for that. Let's just go with that. But two things you can't say. You can't say neither, and you can't say both. You gotta pick one.
Okay.
You ready? Deep conversation or comfortable silence?
Deep conversation.
Solo travel or group trips?
Solo travel.
Your kids don't count as group.
Yeah, but I will rather also solo without the kids.
Did you hear that, kids? I hope your kids watch this.
That goes many years before they see this. It's okay.
Journaling your thoughts or speaking them out loud?
Speaking them out loud. I need to work on that.
I used to write my goals down on the paper, and I keep it. And every time I achieve it, I check them out. I started this when I finished high school in senior 6. I wanted to get a passport. I wanted to get a driver's license, and I wanted to get, what's the other thing? So every time I got one of those, I check them off. And even now, when I have for my podcast, I want to do this, I have a list. And when I do it, I just go check them off like that. I do speak them out loud sometimes.
Yes.
Teaching or coaching?
Definitely coaching. Because what I love with the coaching world is we look forward, we look on success, we look on don't have any more limiting beliefs and never accept absolute minimum. So it's very big things that people are like, really, should I just make these small mindset shifts and then the world just open for me? And I'm like, yes, that's only what you need to do.
The final one, sunrise meditation or sunset reflection?
Sunset reflection. Especially in Jinja at the Nile. That is magical.
This brings us to our main segment. This main segment is where we're going to talk about your journey, things you've done, achievement, and a conversation. It's a main conversation. We talk about everything. What inspired your journey from teaching into life coaching? I know that was a question I asked you in the this or that, and you picked coaching. What inspired that?
So actually, Uganda. Before coming to Uganda, I was a physics and psychology teacher. And when I came here, there were so many things that happened. I got divorced, and I used Uganda to heal me. Not because it was a bad divorce or something, but now you're alone. You need to figure out how to do things when you're alone and have 2 kids. But also, I have lived this serious life since I was I found my ex-man when I was 18. And we got kids when I was 23. So, this serious life. And we bought a house when I was 25. Yeah. So I feel I skipped my youth. And it came now. When I was in Uganda, I can see adults, youth. Everybody's chilling. Everybody's vibing. Fun doesn't have any age. So I embraced that. But why I went from teaching to coaching, it's actually a long process. Do you want to hear it?
Let's go. It's a podcast. That's why you're here.
Okay, so.
But before you explain that, I had one question I wanted to follow up with. Did you know anybody or anyone in Uganda before you made a decision to come to Uganda? How did Uganda come to your mind first?
It was not even Uganda. I wanted just to visit East Africa, any East African country. And I was deciding on Kenya. But then I have a friend that came to Uganda, and I was like, is it okay with kids? Because I know these volunteer places normally won't use. And she was there, it's okay. So I was like, okay, it's safe. And before coming, people were like, how are you going to go? You have a 5-year-old girl. What's going to happen? It's dangerous. You're in Africa. And people were so judgmental even before traveling. And and you're a single mom. And then I came and I was like, what the hell? This is the nicest people and I have met in my whole world. I could leave my daughter with my Ugandan family and I will feel more safe than leaving her with someone in Denmark. I felt so safe. So it was actually very spontaneous that it ended up in Uganda. But I'm so happy because I wanted to see more and more of the African countries, but I couldn't. This is my 3rd time in Uganda within a year.
And how did you land in Jinja?
Because that family I live with, they're living in Jinja and they have a school nearby. So I live at their place and work at their school.
So now we can go back to why you made a decision to switch from teaching into coaching?
So again, it's Uganda who opened my eyes. The first time I was here, I raised 5,000 euros for donations to the school. And it was very nice. We painted the school. We built it more. I focused also on some life quality aspects like propels, so they can get air and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second time I went there, I made a football summer camp, and I couldn't even raise 1,000 euro. And like, it's my students, and I was like, really? Because it's not something educational. People doesn't care. Like, doesn't the kids deserve to have good football facilities, sport facilities? And then it hit me. I was like, my kids, like my students' dignity worth more than just raising donations. So I quit. Like, I don't really do donations anymore. Very, very little. But I was like, I want to become a millionaire and I want to like make whatever they want or they need possible. And more than that, I came back now and I want to teach my students and how to be economically independent. Because why should I keep giving them fishes, like donations, when they have an ocean? So I'll rather teach them how to use this ocean, and I know they have the skills to be independent themselves.
I love to see somebody who is not from Uganda embrace Uganda and love Uganda, because I know a lot of those kids, like even the ones you help, like need that kind of love, need that kind of to show like somebody cares, like there's somebody who cares about us, and it means a lot to them, and it means a lot to me too, and that's why it wasn't even hesitant for me to have this conversation with you. And I discovered a lot of information when I was doing the research to have this conversation, because it means a lot to me, and to even share with the world, to share with everybody who is going to tune in to listen to this podcast. But many people have fear living their stable life or their career to follow their calling. How did you overcome that fear? Because you live in Denmark, everything is easy. People are not milking cows with their hands, they have machines. How did you overcome that fear?
The short answer is I never fear. Like, I'm a very spontaneous person. I told you, if I get an idea, I just do it. I actually, before coming to Uganda, when I came this time, I only was supposed to stay 3 weeks. And then 1 week before I got the clients I needed, and now I can be here for 3 months. So, but I had planned for 3 months. I talked with this kid's school. I took a visa for 3 months. I prepared as if we are going to stay here. I even bought malaria tabs for 3 months. So I prepared for it and just jumped. And that's what I usually do. And Katunda usually always just, solve it.
Growing up, I was like that. Just taking like spontaneous decisions. Like I woke up one day, I told my dad, I'm going to America, I'm going to study. My dad looked at me, was like, what? How? Where? When? Who are you going to stay with? What? All those questions. I don't know, but that's what I want to do. That's what I'm going to do. And Katonda, like you said, he walked through that for me to be able to achieve that. But life is fun when you take risks. Sometimes, like when you live like you enjoy to the fullest. I know it's not 100%. I don't want to sit here and tell people like, oh, go jump in the fire because you take risks. No, it's just like you have to be wise about decisions, but don't let things hold you back. Just do whatever you want. And you often say that Uganda is a mirror. What did you see that reflected back to you when you came to Uganda?
So actually, every time I go back, I just have the happiness inside me, and it lasts for 2-3 months, and then it like fades away. I try to keep it alive with Ugandan music and calling my friends, but it's like the stress and anxiety from the life just comes when I'm outside Uganda. But every time I enter Uganda, I remember I was like, oh my God, like I feel I'm in an emotional paradise when I'm in Uganda. The feelings are just so strong. Like when I'm happy, I'm very happy. When I'm excited, I'm very excited. When I sit on the butter, I feel I own the planet. Like I feel myself so free. I actually, I drive it sometimes myself because I have some friend that has a butter. So I just, I do crazy stuff. I will never do it in Denmark, but But here I just feel that's me. That is my authentic self, to take risks, to just go and jump from a climb in the Nile, like just do stuff that I in Denmark will think twice about. Here I just do them because I feel the whole life, the whole culture facilitated for you. Yesterday, the first time in my farm in Denmark, when I only heard that one of our chickens got slaughtered, and then I began to cry. I also already gave birth, so maybe I was too emotional. But yesterday, I slaughtered a chicken for the first time ever. And like from crying to just hearing about it, to do it yourself. And that's what Uganda do to me. Like, I can't come to Uganda without learning a new skill. And this is my third time.
That is really beautiful to hear. And I don't think I can relate to exactly what you feel when you're in Uganda, but a little bit of it, because I've been away from Uganda for about 11 years now, living here.
Wow.
And when I go back to Uganda, it makes me feel like a foreigner. And my parents say, "You've become American. You are so American. You do this." But
You're a Muzungu
there's
now.
that joy. Yeah, I'm a Muzungu now. But there's that joy I have when I'm on the plane going to Uganda. And when we land in Entebbe like this, I have this big smile. I feel like I'm at peace. I feel like I'm happy. It's just a different vibe that I get when I'm in Uganda. So I can relate to a little bit of that. But
just to speak about this manifestation again, last time I was in Uganda, I was sitting in the airplane. I was crying because I had to go back to Denmark. And I was crying and I was crying, and then I fell asleep crying. The next second, I hear that, and we're landing in Kampala. And I was like, what? Katunda. And I came on a 5-star hotel, and I just enjoyed Entebbe for one extra day. Manifestation. So I really manifested, like, I don't want to leave Uganda, and it happened. You can try it, guys. I don't know if if you're so lucky, but sometimes.
When you said when you go back to Denmark, there's some things that you do to help you like feel Uganda. You said listen to music. What kind of music do you listen to? Like Ugandan music? Which artists are your favorite?
I'm not good at the artists, more the names of the songs. But Biswanka is an artist I really do like. Hakuna Dawa is a song that I learned a dance to for my first Ugandan wedding. Alien Skin. And yeah, I actually Biswanka, his like rest of my life, I think I have heard it 200 times with lyrics while I'm driving in my car.
I saw your kids tubing in the Nile. That's one thing that I was always like scared to. I went to the Nile, but we went on a boat, and even if it was like wobbly like this, I'll like freak out. But like seeing them in the Nile, do you ever think of like, because they say, oh, there's crocodiles in the Nile, there's blah 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 blah. Do you ever think of that, or just like it is what it is?
No, because there's no crocodiles in the Nile in Ginger, but everybody tells me from back home, like, how can you go to the Nile? There's crocodiles, and they really scare me, even though I know it's not right. But people are, again, so judgmental when it comes to an African country. And I'm like, people know, like, there are guides, there are, like, we never go in the Nile without a guide. There's always, like, a professional with us. So, or there are some places you can swim where there's not, like, it's not so floating so much. But no, there's nothing, and the tubing is so chill. Like
it is chill.
It is, and they like it. Like my first time, they just sat on the tubings. This time, both of my kids, they jumped down in the river and they began to swim. They have life vest, of course, life safety vest. But they are also getting used to Uganda, getting used to taking risks and just being like the other.
Yeah, I've seen videos of them like playing with other kids and doing like some crazy stuff, climbing trees or doing something, and it's all amazing. But there's always that, I know you said you didn't have any fears going to Uganda, but what was your first impression when you first arrived, and how has that evolved? Because you're going to a place you've never been, definitely had questions, and how has that evolved over time?
My expectations of Uganda were very high. So, because I have always had this, I really want to see the real Africa. I've been in Egypt before, but as an Arab, for me, Egypt, they speak Arabic and like it's very similar to Arabic culture. I wanted like more this East African culture, experience that. So I did it when I was 28 for the first time. And when I arrived, I was like, this is like a Disney movie. Like the banana trees, the nature, it was so green. Like people always say, yeah, there's, again, the judgment. I'm a very anti-imperialist. I don't know if you can hear, that's why I'm so negative with these things. But sometimes it really annoys me when people is not educated about the African countries. And Uganda, like even the safari in Uganda, we always think that safari, like it's, what do you call gold? What is it called when there's no plants? Like when it's brown, like there's no plants. But when you go to the safari, yeah, exactly. People think that it's just a desert. But I actually, this time I brought some people from Denmark that went to the safari and they were like, this is so green. And I'm like, yeah, this is Uganda. This is the real Africa, not the one we see on television. So my expectations were high. And when I came, it was beyond my expectations. And it is the people, like the warm-hearted people. Like in Denmark, they will, when you have too much energy, they're like, oh, maybe you have ADHD, the diagnosis. But here they're like, oh, we're vibing. You know, it's normal to have energy. It's normal to be happy all the time and active. Yeah. So I feel we just resonate. Like I found my people.
That's similar to what I was going to ask you, but I don't know if you have a different answer for it. But like, there's a lot of like cultural lessons like change your perspective, like on peace and patience and your purpose. What are some of those cultural lessons you've learned in Uganda that have changed your perspective on those things like peace, purpose, and patience?
So, for example, the traffic today, it took me 6 hours to come here. In Denmark, it will maybe have taken me 1 hour on the motorway. But I'm like in Denmark, I can prepare myself in 10 minutes, jump on a bus, and then I'll be on my destination 30 minutes later. I know it will never happen here in Uganda. Last time I was at my Ugandan family's house and I told them I want to go to the city now. I was meeting with a politician and then they were like, yes, we're going now. So I prepared my kids. I'm still like learning the Ugandan now. I prepared my kids, we were sitting, and then 1 hour later we went, but why? Like there's always a reason. Because the car didn't work, the battery should be changed. So they should go to another place, bring the battery, put it so the van could drive, you know? So there's always reasons. And this teach me actually patience every time because like we don't need to rush all the time. And even the woman I was meeting, she was also late because she comes from the same culture, jam. She came from another city far away. So this is just how life is and you just adapt.
I hope my American friends listen to this podcast because I try to explain them that, but it's better for somebody who is not from there to explain it to them, for them to understand. Yes, it's frustrating. Yes, it's annoying, but there's a reason for why something happened. Like, and there's always a reason. In Uganda, it works different. Like you said, a 1 hour drive is going to take 6 hours, or something is going to happen. Something's going to break down. And these things don't happen a lot in the first world countries, but like you need to leave room for that patience and some grace to these people and just be free. Like it's not always rush. In America, it's time. To do this. But you need to slow down and enjoy Uganda fully.
And Americans, when they go to Denmark, they see Danish people as even more structured people, and you can't move out of the box, you know. But I actually have another thing. Let's call it the Muzungu complexity, because I often hear people get offended when a seller see your skin tone and suddenly the price is, I don't know, 4 times more. And this is something where you ask me about like having peace. So some foreigners, they get offended. Why should he charge me much more? If you reflect on it, this seller is selling the things so cheap because people can't afford more. So when someone who actually can afford more comes, he or she see an opportunity. It's not because they want to be rude or something, but they're not earning what based on their efforts. They're earning based on what people can afford. So if they should earn what they like, as much as the effort they put in the things, it should be higher. And that same thing, if you bought it back home, you'll have paid even more than the price he or she is giving you. So sometimes I'm like, if you have this core value that you want everything to be fair, you can say politely, no, thank you. But there's no need to get offended and why are they always cheating? And because there's a reason behind. There is a very reasonable reason for why they do it like that.
You talk about core values and like mindfulness. What does living by your core values practically look like on an ordinary day?
So again, this is something that Uganda pushed for me. I wasn't really thinking about what my core values are. But when I came here, like I could see, for example, how much dance make people happy. I wasn't really dancing before coming to Uganda, but when I came out, it was very important for me that my kids embrace every single part of the Ugandan culture. So I was just dancing with them and the other kids to let my kids like be included. But I could feel like, especially that the traditional dance, you move the whole of your body, you show some cultural aspects. Like there's a dance where they show how a man farms and how the women do the harvest or something. Like this is a part of the dance. And it showed me like, then I was like, when I came back to Denmark, it became a core value for me to be happy. Like if I had a stressful day or had too many things I thought about, I would put a Ugandan song and me and my kids will dance and we will like ground ourselves. So that's one of the core values. Like I know it's cliche, you want to be happy, but practically I don't see many people actually think at the end of the day, am I happy now? Do I go to sleep and feel happy? And this is a positive domino effect, because if you are happy, you're also more motivated and you're start the next day on a grounded state, and then you can only move like forward and go towards your successful life.
But it's the same place is for someone who feels lost and disconnected. Where should they start by identifying their values?
When you feel lost and disconnected, you need to first of all sit down and do like you do, write down what is it that makes me happy, and do I actually follow these things? Is it incorporated in my everyday life? And if they're not, then you have something to start to work on. And often, like, you know what you make, like it's latent what makes you happy, but you're not working on it because the life, like you have so many obligations, you need to earn money, you need to bring food on the table, and life just takes you into its direction. Many people want to be start their own business because they want to be happy and economically independent, but there's so much stress involved in it that they also sometimes lose themselves if they don't have their core values. Me myself, I take a break. Like if I'm very focused, I'm working, but I can see, okay, now I can feel I'm not grounded. I can feel I'm not in a state where like I can feel myself. That's when I pause and I allow myself to have fun, to use a day with friends, to, especially here in Uganda. I'm in Uganda. I need to just get so much positive energy because I'm going back to Denmark and it's now, time is now, happiness is now.
There was a moment in your life where everything looked like it was falling apart. You talked about your divorce, went back to Denmark, you got fired from your job, and everything just kind of started like falling apart. I know you've talked about how you encouraging another person who feels disconnected. But in that moment for you in your own journey, what helped you to stand on your feet and get back?
When you hit the rock bottom, you're like, what is there to lose? And that's why I just risked everything to do what I'm passionate about. And Uganda was what I was passionate about. And to be honest, in the start, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I just know it has something to do with Uganda. I was already working with a Ugandan friend with a safari company. I wanted to bring like Danish customers, but I felt like, but this is not really me. Like bringing rich people to experience the rich part of Uganda without knowing the culture, without meeting the Ugandans. So the way I incorporated my values was by the coaching, because I wanted, when I bring people, I also want them to experience the village. I want them to experience doing some volunteer work to to live with a Ugandan family, to feel this collective love and learn the culture. So the way I transform people today is, yes, I coach them online, but there will be a retreat in Uganda where they both see the luxurious part of Uganda, so they understand Uganda as an African country can look like Europe. But I also, for me, it's very important to experience the village life also, because I learned so much through this village life.
But on top of that, too, you've worked with helping women build their confidence, financial independence. What patterns do you often see that's holding them back?
The social norms. This goes again and again and again. Like, what will people say? And like, why should I be special? Or yes, often it is actually the reputation, what other people think. And even when I ask them, then what is the worst thing that can happen? And often it's not something that is you fear about. And they, when you put it that way, they can see it themselves also. Okay, there's nothing to lose. Like, it's just again, we have, many of us are raised with this accepting absolute minimum. We act like we go to school to get educated, to help the society, but we don't think beyond that. Like, to become millionaire, to become rich, to here in Uganda, I feel actually to become a singer is maybe more like, because the songs and the dances is a part of the culture. But in Denmark, I don't. It's not often you see someone that, like, I want to become a dancer, a singer, or an artist, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But like, to really believe in your own passion and what you like to do, and believe that this thing, whatever it is, it can bring you to whatever destination. If it's to become a rich person or a successful person in another way, you will reach there.
And actually, you also say a lot that transformation starts with awareness. Can you expand on that? Like,
so for me personally, it was when that happened, I hit the rock bottom. What gave me fuel in my life wasn't just, okay, I can make my own money. What gave me fuel was that I get to know my authentic self. It was all this mindset work, because when you want to become economically independent, you don't only work on your skills. You work a lot on your mindset, because your limiting beliefs is what doesn't make you reach where you want. And I can feel like some days if I feel bad, and that's why for me it's it's very important to be happy, because when I feel bad, this period, I don't get many leads. I don't get many client calls. Like, I can feel it immediately. And when I feel I'm in a state where I am grounded and I'm like mentally healthy, there's a lot of leads, a lot of client calls. I work a lot. So it's transmit, like your energy transmits. And that's why it's very important to always like clean that energy.
earlier when we were talking, you mentioned about something actually I really like, and it's also mindset shift, where you said you're helping Ugandan students to understand they already own an ocean. Can you share a real story or an example that captures that mindset shift when you work with these kids?
So I had a discussion recently with my class. I tried to explain to them how you put a price on a product or a service or anything, how you price things. And they said something that is actually very beautiful, but I challenged it a bit. They said, some of them were like, I will price it cheap because I want to win the customer's loyalty. And it's very beautiful. It's a very beautiful mindset. But the thing is, what we see in the coaching world and in general, also products, if you think about normal H&M, like normal stores, shops, and then big Louis Vuitton or whatever shops. Louis Vuitton shops, they are a brand in themselves. They have premium prices. Nobody comes and ask like, can you make it cheaper? But people who go to another shop that is not that expensive, they go to and look for the sale. You don't even find a sales part in the Louis Vuitton. So I try to tell them, if that was correct, people, they get your loyalty, they like you because the product is cheap, then why is it so many buy iPhone? You have so many Samsung phones that have the exact same specification as an iPhone, but the iPhone is much more like million of shillings expensive. So why do they buy the iPhone? Because there was created a value. Yes, it has a premium price, but you worked on the value. You were talking about the value of this phone. So people don't think about the price. And that's what we need to learn. We need to learn to value things, because then the conversation will be about the value and not about the money. If you come and the first thing you say is, this is so cheap, buy these shoes, then the mindset of that person will be money. How much should I pay? But if you only talk about value, he will actually, first of all, they will not think about it has to be cheap. Second of all, if they do, it will be embarrassing to talk about because you're talking so much about value. So that is what the conversation is about. So in the start, it was very difficult for them to accept it. They were like, you're crazy. Like, why should we put a high price when we want the loyalty, like be loyal to our customers? But then when we talked about it and I explained for them this value thing, and they need to put so much more work to sell, to earn the same, but they need to sell much more when they can sell a little, but that has a lot of value, that is good quality, for example, and they can earn the same. So that is one mindset shift that I
love this podcast. And that's why when you were talking, I don't know if people who listen to this podcast are tired of me, just like, because I keep reminding them that when I do these conversations, yes, I love the public to listen to them, but I'll do listen to this conversation, like, to start with me, like, change starts with you. I know they say all that stuff, but like, listening to that, the way you explained it, it's a mindset that I know a lot of my friends do not think about. And I remember one point, I like to give an example of this podcast because of how the things have done and the way you've put it, because you gave an example of like products or whatever it is, or money. I see the value of my podcast like, this is what I want to achieve. This is the goal of my podcast. People have asked me, why don't you have like advertisements or like companies, sponsors and all that? Those sponsors have to see the value of my podcast for me to work with them. They have to respect that. And a lot of them have come to me as like, okay, we're going to give you this much money. But the mentality I have, I've started this podcast without their money. I'm able to keep going without their money. So that money is not going to change much on my podcast. If they're giving me that money, good. I'm thankful. I'm grateful. I'm not saying I don't need money. Don't take it wrong. But I'm saying like, money is not going to control what I do because of the value. And for me, that's how I was interpreting it. Like, you have to have the value of something. Anybody can interpret it in a different way or in a way that applies in their lives, but that's a good mentality for people to have and for you to teach these kids, because in Uganda, people have used money to manipulate somebody or to make you do. And in real sense, sometimes it's not, that's not it all. Like, money is not it all. There's more to money than what people bring to you, especially like the rich people. They can say, oh, we're going to do this, or we're going to do this, we'll give you money, and trade your values or your beliefs for money, which
exactly. And that's what I felt with the donations. I felt when it was a direct educational school system, then people will donate. And when it was something that was just fun, because they see football as just fun, then they wouldn't. And I was like, they can't value my students and which opportunities my students should have based on what they think they should have. This is a very like embarrassing example, but there was a person, we have some donations and brought food for an orphanage. And the food was like rice and chicken. I think actually it was only rice and chicken, what I remember. Maybe matoke, I can't remember. And then there was this guy that was like, but if they're so poor, like, why then buy chicken? And I was like, would you ever accept that your kids don't eat chicken? So they should keep on eating beans and porridge. Porridge? What is it? Porridge, yeah. Eat beans and porridge because they don't have a lot of money. Like, it really hurts me. So like, when people think that their money is what's making a difference, I'm like, Katunda will give these people what they want. And he did it. If he doesn't do it through you, he will do it through another. So for me, like the respect for other people's dignity, and especially my Ugandan students is very important. And so I agree with you. Like money doesn't have a worth if they don't come with the right intention.
I'm thankful to God that we're able to have this conversation. People are gonna hear this because I know somebody's gonna hear this message and it will change one person or two. And that has been my goal. Like when somebody texted, I got a feedback the other day. A lady texted me, is like, "Hey, thanks for having me on your podcast. I got a job through you having me on your podcast because they listen to the work that I do." And now she's the head of marketing in some company in Uganda, like something like that. I'm like, thank
Oh
you.
wow! I
That's for
also want to
me
live in
is
Uganda, please.
that for me is more than any amount of money like sponsors and everybody will
Exactly.
bring.
Yeah.
What's one message you want every young woman listening to this podcast to take to heart today?
That every young woman needs to find her authentic self. And it's very difficult to do it when the noise is around. The noise is usually relatives or friends or people around you. And that's why it's so important, or if you have the possibility to do it, go a place where you shut down this noise. And that's why I bring women to Uganda, because Uganda give you that freedom to be yourself, to explore, to see what do I like, what don't I like. And yeah, shut up, because if you can't, it's very difficult to improve when the noise is there. You will think about every single step you're taking because of that, instead of just taking the steps and move forward. What I did when I started, I blocked every single near person on my Instagram for me to put my story out there. Because I felt I know they will see it. Like, and no, actually. So what I did, I blocked the people I knew. I deleted people who I like just knew me from far away. And then I was like, nobody's gonna see it. And then it went viral, and 300,000 people saw it. And even I was a high school teacher. Even my high school students like texted me. Friends from my high school and primary school texted me, and I was like, okay, this is Instagram. But the thing is, when it was out there, I had so much self-confidence because I got so much positive feedback. And I don't know if you can relate, but Instagram or social media in general, you create your space. You create your rules, you create the values you want to be there. So people who keep watching are people who resonate with you. I was like, it's only me that is so crazy in this world. But I've met people. I had 1 week when I have a client call in Maldives, Egypt, and Canada, I think. Canada or the United States. Anyways, these 3 countries in 1 week. And I was like, 3 different continents, or 2. Anyways, and they resonated with me. There was specific patterns in their personality. I could just see this, they were like me. And I could see it with you as well. Like you had this latent kindness, which I hope I also have. But I was like, I really resonate with you because it's nice that you can create your own room when you can't always do it in the real life.
I feel the same way too. And I think I told you this at the beginning of this recording, like this is gonna be fun because your energy, and when we even started talking, like your values, the way you see life and the way there's some things like I didn't know that especially, I mean I knew, but like when you talk about it, it makes more sense in my head hearing somebody else talk about it. Because like that is the part you explained about the value, like having your personal value and what you're teaching other kids. Like I know that, like in my head, like yeah, it makes sense to me. But like hearing you say it and me listening to it again, it makes it even more sense. Like it's like yes, it's like a confirmation, like reaffirmation. Oh yeah, reaffirmation. I love hearing that. Like even if you know something, it's good to hear it when somebody else is. You can like I'm confident about myself. I mean that's cocky to say, but like nobody else is gonna say, "Oh no, you're terrible." Oh, do you do this? No. But when I hear somebody else tell me, "Oh my god, that's good," like that's just a reaffirmation of what I already know, and it's good. People need that sometimes, and some. So yeah, when we connected, I knew it's gonna be a good time, and I've enjoyed this podcast. I hope other people will enjoy it too. And even if they don't, I did. So at least you got one person. That's me.
I actually want to add on for that with the woman. Another thing that I both I experience and some of my clients also experience the healing power of personal branding on Instagram or social media in general. But when you're vulnerable, because everybody is an expert in something. Like you don't need a long PhD to be an expert. Your whole life is only you have lived that life, and you are the most expert in your life. And there was always something you're good at: cooking, painting, playing football, whatever, taking pictures. And when you are vulnerable and go out there, people can resonate and they will follow you, they will support you, and you can create that room for yourself. And it's healing because you don't always find people who think like you around you in that physical location. And especially in Uganda, I don't feel people move so much out. Maybe they go to Kampala, study their university, and then they go back to the village or whatever. I'm from the village, so that's the life I know. But for women, and there's also an economic aspect of it. Like you can earn money through making your own personal brand because you will be a brand yourself. Like when you share yourself and people see your face, you become someone that is, wow. Maybe you have experienced it well, okay, you're in USA, so people don't see you here. But on Instagram, they're like, oh, wow, this is Ugandan boy. I felt that too. I was like, oh, I'm coming to the Ugandan Boy Show, you know? So no, it works. And you just kept on consistency. And one day you will explode and you'll attract the right people in your life.
I tell people that all the time. People message me about they want to start their own podcast. Oh, I like your podcast. You do this. Just consistent. Keep doing what you're doing. Stay true to yourself. Have your core values and stand firm on what you believe in. My latest episode, somebody was talking about people who buy views and all that on Instagram to do quick growth, to stand out. But I advise people that take your time. You can do it. Believe in yourself. Believe in your work. If there's something you think you can do better, try to do it and try to achieve that. And every time you focus on being better, better is going to find you. That's my mentality, and that's how I've been doing it. Anyway, Adraa, we're coming to almost close to the end of this recording. I usually try to keep it within time for people to. I mean, people have complained like, "Why did that end so quick?" Like there's some that I end in an hour. It felt like 30 minutes, and then sometimes you're like, "Oh my god!" People fall off at 30 minutes. People stop listening here, but it is what it is. I think when the vibes are good, I just do what I do. A few questions I want to go with before we go into our last segment. What does home mean to you today?
Home is a feeling. It's a surrounding. It's not a local place.
Yeah.
And I felt home in Uganda because I told you I'm originally from Iraq, but I'm born and my whole life is in Denmark. And that's why I wanted, in the start, I told you, I want to tell you about the Muzungu thing because people here, they're so nice and polite and hujjati, Muganda wange mwala. But some people are like Muzungu, and I'm like, I'm not a Muzungu, I'm an Arab. And the reason why I react like this is because my whole life I have been seen as like dark in Denmark. I've never got the privilege of my white friends. So I'm like, now I'm around my people. And you're calling me Muzungu? Hell no. We're in the same boat. I am brown. So yeah. So as an Arab, I feel more African than I feel Muzungu.
For all the Ugandans are watching this, Adraa is not Muzungu, so don't call her Muzungu. She's one of you.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
If you could write a message to your younger self, what would it say?
Have fun, enjoy life, be happy, and stop listening to other people. And stop even caring about other people's and your reputation.
What legacy do you hope your work leaves behind in Uganda and beyond?
I hope that people get confidence to live the life they want to live and dream beyond their limiting beliefs. That's not only Uganda, the whole world, we all have limiting beliefs, but especially my students in the village, they think they will grow and stay in the village. And I hope that Africa will rise. I really hope
Africa will rise.
People will see the value of Uganda and the whole of Africa. But for me, my work is in Uganda. and that the Ugandans can like reach a state where they can also reflect the power of Uganda to people. So we don't, us who are British don't need to say, no, but it's like that. And they also have a mall and yeah, it's green. Like, you know, like Ugandans themselves, they can be able to show these things. And it's not because they're not doing that, but I know it's so difficult just to travel, to get a passport, to get visa. Like there's so many bureaucratical things that make it difficult for a Ugandan to reach out. But I hope that it will be easier.
We have this segment called Rapid Fire. Rapid Fire is just the same as this or that. And it's not the same. It's also a fun segment. But in this Rapid Fire, you're just going to give me the first answer that comes to your head. You don't have to think about it. Just the first thing that shows up when I ask you the question, just say that. I like to put a disclaimer. These answers are not advice. It's just take it if you want, but don't quote it to be true. Are you ready?
Yes.
You're ready. Yeah, you sound ready and you look ready. I'm kidding. You sound nervous and scared. One Ugandan word or phrase you use often.
Vasosotya nyabo.
Wasuzotya nyabo. Okay, that's a good one. Your go-to comfort food.
Yeah, I can't make it here. In Denmark, I'll just buy something from the freezer, like fish or something. Fish and fries.
What's your favorite Ugandan food?
Spiced rice with chicken.
Pilau? Is it pilau? Or it doesn't have to be pilau. Is that pilau?
Yeah, I think it's pilau. Yeah.
I was watching one of your videos. You were eating pasta, and then you had, was it dragon fruit? There were fruits on it? Did you make that meal?
No, I didn't make. No, I didn't mix the fruits. It was just to show that we always get fresh fruits with our lunch. Yeah, like we have the jackfruit in the tree, and it's served.
That part of Uganda, like jackfruit, mango, you can eat this right off the tree. I miss that.
You don't need to snack. Like it gives you so much energy and it tastes so good.
And the video of the coconut was really good too. I think it was with one of your child where you cut it fresh and just drink out of it.
She wasn't supposed to be a part of it, but I was like, she knows what the word content creation is because of Uganda, because I'm gonna do content creation. So she just came in and explained how the coconut is from the tree here. They really enjoyed. Like my kids love avocados. So they couldn't imagine that there's avocados in the trees and they're for free.
Big.
And they're big. In Denmark, one avocado is like 4,000 shillings.
Wow.
So they're expensive. Here, if it's just like have a little bit black color, they threw it out. I'm like, this is 4,000 shillings. So
I love avocado, but it's expensive. Anyway, we're on rapid fire. I got distracted and then we got talking about... No, it was my fault. A quote that keeps you centered.
I can't remember exactly, but you have your opinion. I have my opinion. Let's meet in the garden.
Facts. Mic drop. One thing you learned from failure.
I learned that you need to fail to grow even stronger.
Describe Uganda in one word.
Happiness.
I got final 3. These are also like quick answers. Final 3 is, what's a life lesson you've learned in life to this point?
That you can be completely alone but still become successful.
What gets you excited about life?
To help other people.
Who would you like to see on this podcast next as a guest? And you help me connect me to that person. Your love.
Another person like me who's really crazy about Uganda.
Okay, you and I are going to try to find somebody and then we'll have them on the podcast.
I'm sure we'll find. There's a lot of people.
Adraa, thank you very much for opening your heart and sharing your journey. So vulnerable. Your story reminds us about transformation, like it's not a destination. It's a practice of returning to who you are. And for anyone else listening out there who is searching for balance, purpose, or peace, let this conversation be your reminder that it's okay to slow down, breathe, listen to the quiet voice within. You can follow Adraa on Instagram at Adraa, that's ADRAA.O. And stay tuned with her upcoming retreats and transformation program. I am Bonnie Chibuka, and this is the Ugandan Boy Talk Show, where stories that connect hearts, inspire change, and celebrate the soul of Uganda. Until next time, stay grounded, stay grateful. Adraa, thank you very much for your time. I laughed. I had a good time. Was a vibe. Is there anything else that I didn't ask you that you want to say to the listeners before we wrap this up?
I think I said everything. I love Uganda, and I hope that message came across.
Can't wait to have you back on here, talk about any new exciting things that are happening to Uganda. My house is your house, Mikasa Sukasa. Anytime you're in Kampala, it's like, Bonnie, I'm in Kampala. I have something on my chest I want to put out, and we'll have a slot for you on the podcast.
Thank you so much. Just one little detail. I also have a TikTok that is Adraa Ayoub, because I know you also put it on TikTok. So just remember, when you put it, you can always tag me on TikTok and on Instagram.
Hey there, my name is Bonnie Chibuka, the podcast host of the Ugandan Boy Talk Show. Thanks for watching and listening to my podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. Also, leave a feedback on this podcast, so that's how we grow. Thank you very much and be blessed.
My name is Adraa. I've been hosted in the Ugandan Boy Show. I'm glad to be here. We've talked about Muzungu. We talked about the authentic self. And we talked about how you can heal yourself through becoming economically independent and do your personal branding. We talked about how Uganda's transformed me, how my life, I was much more happy in my life after visiting Uganda, and how I was planning to see the whole of Africa, but keep coming to Uganda every single time. Thanks for watching.
Thank you very much, Adraa. It was
Thank
amazing
you.
to talk to you.
It was very, very
it was
nice.
a whole vibe. So are you driving back to Jinja right now?
Yeah, I have to eat something, but yes, after that.
Oh my God. I really appreciate you coming on here, the sacrifice, the dedication, things like that melts my heart. Like, you travel all the way 6 hours to come do this podcast. That's why it means a lot to me. And that's why I love this podcast so much. I'll never quit. I know the cameras are still rolling. And to my listeners who are going to listen to this, that's how much I really love this thing and the impact. And I believe it's just the beginning, and we're going to help a lot more people to benefit from these conversations.
You're doing great work. So it really worth it to come the whole way. And I'll gladly do it again.
Ngezako. Thank you.
Kale,
let's stay connected. I'll hit you up on WhatsApp, and if there's anything, you need, anything, I'll be glad to help. Alhamdulillah.
Katonda wachiza, we say in Lusoga.
Bye.
Bye. And I call this the British guy because he has a British dialect.
Who? Adam?
What was your name? Adams.
He is? Oh, you can't hear me anymore. Can you hear me?
I thought you were from Britain as well, but you said you're from the US. You haven't been in London.
No, I've not been in London. So Adam must be in London. Adam is lying. I don't believe Adam.
No, he hasn't been. I thought his dialect is British. He was like, no, I'm Ugandan. But Adam gave me a name. I have to get it again. What? Adams. No, you gave me the Ugandan name?
Ainaitwe.
Ainatwe. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But that was with my braids.
Oh, okay. All right, now I'm going. Now I'll go.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Mm-hmm.